Hi, welcome to Soulpath Astrology. I'm Desiree, your intuitive counselor here on the channel, and welcome to this week's readings. I don't know what's going on, man. I tried recording this on Sunday, which is normally when I record them, so I have time to do all the timestamps and stuff like that. And my internet crapped out halfway through, and so that kiboshed it. I was quite busy all day yesterday when the internet was back on, and so here I am today recording it on the day of posting. So it's very fresh. That said, I just recorded 25 minutes and you can barely hear it. So I have to re record it. I'm just going to trust the flow here on this one and assume that what I'm going to share this time is actually what needs to be said for the general. And maybe that other video is just for me, whatever. You got to trust these things. That's what this channel is about. It's about connecting to our inner guidance system. It's about working with what's happening and finding ways to channel it towards love, towards fulfillment, towards alignment, and to cultivate our ability to sense what alignment is and to create spaces and people and community where it's safe to act upon that alignment. I mean, in a nutshell, that's the more beautiful world that I want to see happen. So here's how this is going to go down. We're going to do a quick little chit chat about the Astros, and then we're going to do a grounding exercise to center. There'll be an opportunity to choose one, two, or three cards of your choice. Have them all if you want. And you can timestamp fast forward to whichever ones resonate. And I might have a little tweak at the end, a little tidbit of wisdom. So I do encourage you to watch right to the end. Without further ado, because for me, this is the second time around. Let's jump into the astrology this week. So, biggest, most important thing today, luckiest day of the year, because Venus and Jupiter are conjunct. They're having a great big cosmic mwah, kiss. What that means is they are sharing the same degree basically in the sky. So they appear to be right next to each other, right on top of each other. What does this mean from an archetypal standpoint? These are the great benefics. These are the most like lucky, benevolent, grace filled, like Santa Claus bestowing gifts like this, right? And Venus is like the smaller version of Jupiter, and it's very love based, very beauty based, very like all those beautiful, good things in life. And so we can overdo it. I mean, that's a thing too. So be mindful. And where these two are having their cosmic union, where that falls into your chart is going to be dependent, will like reflect for you in what area of life you can expect these, wellspring of goodness to come your way if you ask. So this is the major caveat about how things work. This is the metaphor. If you don't ask, if you just expect things to like fall from the sky, they are falling from the sky. But without you asking, you are close to them. This is how the mechanics of this work, if you will. So the asking is an opening. It's you doing this so that manna from heaven can in fact meet you. But you have to ask. Right. In a sense, this is what free will is. We get to remain tight, closed little buds where we just refuse everything until we start to soften, consciously soften and open to receive. So much of my greatest growth has been in literally learning how to soften and to open my body up. Venus and Jupiter together, they're like, it's safe. The water's great. Relax. Welcome this in. This is how we expand our capacity, our nervous system's capacity to receive light, to transmit light, to connect to our own inner light and to shine it forth unabashedly is to open. And it's interesting because like labor pains where the instinct is to clench against them, like when a labor pain would come on, like my instinct was to like, ugh. Or if you hurt something, isn't your instinct to like squeeze it? With contractions, it's like in this moment when you most want to squeeze tight and closed is actually when you need to practice using breath, using visualizations, actually softening and opening. And physiologically, drop your shoulders, soften your brow, let your jaw soften, let your belly out, let life in. Like we've been so deeply conditioned to fear life. This is the program that we were born into. It's what we've been conditioned into. It's so deep set that most of us don't even question that. It's just, well, of course life is scary. Of course it's dog eat dog. Of course we've got to fight against what we don't want. But the invitation right now, astrologically speaking, but also just like, I mean, that's just reflecting. It's one way of seeing what, if you feel into, you can feel. We are entering into an era of manifesting in a completely different way, where we no longer have to push against what we don't want. And instead, the greatest act of advocacy, the greatest act of activism is to move towards love. We've been operating with our gas and our brake on at the same time, like what I want, gas pedal, what I don't want, the brake. And it keeps us trapped in this like burnout, right? Because we're not moving forward. And it's okay because I get it, because that's how we kind of had to fight against. Like that was the model that we thought worked best, was I've got to fight against what I don't want. But what has just become so abundantly clear to me over the last 2 days, yesterday, Mercury turned direct, and that's, Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So this was yesterday, and like last night would have been such a beautiful time if maybe you had some really potent dreams. Maybe you just had like poof in the shower, a download of some sort. Maybe like me, you're on a medicine journey and you just got all kinds of aha moments. But opening to that greater wisdom, saying, yes, please let me know what I need to know. What I received so clearly was that the program, this life experience is a program, but it's not programmed through like keyboards. It's programmed through our dream, through our focused attention, that there's nothing more powerful than our focused attention. And it's like the sun, the rays of the sun. So what do you want to light up? Where do you want to move towards? And allow what you don't want to just simply shrivel up from lack of your attention. And I know it feels like that's inadequate. It feels like that's too easy. Like, the conditioning to war against as an Aries sun, believe me, I am all about the war. It's been an interesting journey my whole life. Learning how to work with that Martian energy of wanting to be right, wanting to be first, of starting something new, of like just getting my way, and learning how to show up for that impulsive action, that movement forward action. But it doesn't have to be in war. That is not its only expression. In fact, if I can channel that impulse towards fiery action, which is the same impulse that wants you to be, that leads you to activism, that wants to like get your sign out and say no to this and say no to that. And like, I think it was Mother Teresa said, like, I won't come to an anti-war rally, but when you host a pro-peace one, I'll come to that. And like, that is probably the best possible metaphor for how to dream in a new consensus reality for all of us. What are you pro? What are you towards? And the less that you can be like, but not that, because as soon as you start to resist it, what resist persists, you're re-dreaming it back in to the collective, which is why it works to just stop looking at it. What if manifestation, what if building a culture is so much easier than we thought? Like, just like a flower doesn't go to therapy to like figure out how to come out of the soil. A tree doesn't have existential dread while it tries to figure out what it's supposed to be when it grows up. It just does. It follows its natural impulse towards the light. We are no different. So the invitation with this is, especially with Venus and Jupiter together, like, where is your light? What excites you? What just makes your heart expand, and move towards that? And the greatest activism that you could be involved in would be to ignore what you don't want. Like, just, nope, I'm not giving it my focus. I am bestowing upon my love, my grace, my focus, my most powerful gifts onto what expands and elevates me and those around me. And I'm going to refuse. I'm just not even going to bother. I'm going to absolutely liberate myself from feeling responsible for continuing to look at what I don't want. Just let it die on the vine. So I didn't even get into the Astros. That's normally the thing that would have showed up at the end. So we did talk about Venus and Jupiter. Mercury went direct yesterday. We chatted about that. I guess I did sort of tap on the Astros. And then the other big one that I wanted to talk about was that Venus on the 15th trines Pisces, the North Node in Pisces. So again, trines are beautiful. Trines and sextiles, these are the easy aspects. They're the flowing, gentle aspects. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, is aspecting the collective North Node. Like if there was ever an astrological exclamation point to focus on love, to focus on what you want, to focus on what you find beautiful, North Node being the direction we're meant to head in, it's that. Like this week is absolutely designed to help you move towards what you want. The invitation energetically is to get clear, get excited, fall in love with your life. Like what turns you on for real? And I mean that so deeply. What turns you on? That's what you need to seek out. That's what you need to attract in. That's what you need to offer your focus to. Okay. So my puppy's pushing me. She wants to go for a walk. So we're going to do this because this is the second time I'm recording this. Let's have our grounding exercise together prior to choosing our cards. So let's start with an exhale, softening the eyes, arriving in this space, allowing everything going on around you to lead you back to your center. Deep inhale and sigh, exhale. There's something so potent about that vocalized exhale. Again, deep inhale and release. Last one. Okay. Here's your choices. Card 1, card 2, and card 3. Pick yours. Which one most wants you to hear its wisdom? Maybe it's all 3, maybe it's only 2. Okay, let's get started. Card number 1. This was your selection. You got the 5 of Cups reversed. So 5 of Cups is about like self-forgiveness. This is about inviting in grace, about letting go of the past, of the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, of the parts of you that you beating yourself up about a little bit, or that maybe you wish you had done different, or now that you see something a new way, you're like, oh my God, I have wasted so much time doing it the wrong way. There is no wrong, like, but recognize what's not working and don't keep repeating it. But with the 5 of Cups reversed, it's like we don't need to feel shame. There's an invitation into like the Hawaiian forgiveness, the hopo'o ono, hopo. You know what I'm talking about. My friend Jerry Turand, I will maybe set a link up to her Facebook. She's beautiful. She offers all kinds of self-love and forgiveness courses around this. And the 5 of Cups is an invitation to that. Like it's from grace. It's from forgiveness. It's from solace, joy, love, softness that we can build a world that is imbued with that. So, this card, if it was yours, it's like, where might you still be holding on to some self judgment, some self recrimination? And can you surrender that? Can you liberate that from your energy body? Because you don't actually want to bring that forward. Bring the lessons, bring the learning, but it's disimpassioned learning. You know, it's not shame fueled. It's just, oh, okay, that you're right. That was pretty ineffective. What's more effective? I'm going to start doing that more effective thing. We no longer require shame as motivation. We no longer require guilt as motivation. Simply take a disimpassioned view. Was it effective at getting the outcome you wanted or not? And make adjustments accordingly. So that's 5 of Cups reversed. Next, what's next? This one. Doop, doop, doop. Card 2, we got the King of Cups. Oh, sexy King of Cups. We love him. King of Cups has sovereignty over his emotions. Cups is the suit of feelings, emotions. The king, masculine sovereignty, completion. He's the last of the, like, you know, of that suit, right? And so it's the most completed version of whatever's going on in that storyline. And so the King of Cups resides in his feelings. He arrives for his feelings. He holds space for his feelings, but he doesn't allow himself to be like led by the nose with them. He cultivates the space to allow the physical experience of that emotion to move through the body, which is like 90 seconds if you're not creating a story around it to dig it in. And then from that is okay. And so what's next? Right? What can we learn from this experience? Do I need to make amends? Do I owe someone an apology? Do I need to, moving forward, have a better system in place? Do I need to, you, you know what I want to say is like, if you're accidentally mean to someone or you behaved in a way that was emotionally charged, and now you can feel that there is this rendering in the relationship, this tear, this gap. It's not through shaming yourself that you're going to move forward and ask for forgiveness with that or to ask for reparation. It's the courage that you're going to have because you recognize you're just human too. And we're all just doing the best that we can. But don't make that the excuse that says you don't have to make good on the correction, or that, well, they should just accept that and let you off the hook. Like, this is about owning what went wrong, offering what you're going to do next in the future that will hopefully alleviate or prevent that from happening again, and vulnerably asking for that reconnection. The King of Cups, he can handle the conflict from depth, from his heart. It's not all in his head. It's not all avoidance, but it's not getting tossed around on the waves of of shame and guilt and the inability to see clearly. He's got it. Strong spine, soft heart, working together. It's such a beautiful energy. This is the dance between the masculine and feminine. And it's so, so beautiful. So what a great card energetically to have and to attune to for this week. And last, we have this one. The World Cup upright. This is about completion. Oh, hold on. This is, my daughter gave me this, and it's my spirit animal, and Yara just took it off the table and was chewing it, and its tail has now got a little extra love on it. Anyway, completion, the completion card. So if this was yours, congratulations. It's a sign that you have finished a cycle, like a cosmic karmic cycle, and it's complete, and you can just like rest in this full circle moment. Life is a spiral. We're never finished, but we do elevate up, right? Like, we don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over at the same level of consciousness. This is indication of a consciousness up leveling, a completion of the karma and the lessons and the learning. And now we get to start a new chapter. Yes, it's the last card in the major arcana, and it encompasses all of the learning. It owns everything, and it's like integrated. This is a card of integration. So if this was your card, I invite you into an integrative space where you allow your wisdom that you've earned over the last while, whether that's, a week, a month, a year, a decade, 2 decades, whatever it's been, that when you feel completion, when you feel into what that means for you, you know it, reside in that. Give yourself permission to sit in this beautiful work. Let it percolate. Let it become part of your new operating system. And if you got this card and you're feeling like this little twinge of like, oh, I don't really deserve that yet, I have all these unfinished loose ends, then attend to those loose ends. Let the card be the inspiration to attend to those loose ends and wrap them up. Because the energy spent convincing yourself it isn't necessary to wrap them up, or having anxiety around wrapping them up, or coming up with 1,000 other things to do instead of doing the hard thing that you don't want to wrap up, all of the energy that you're expending on any of that is like the energy it'll take to wrap it up is a fraction of what is being expended right now on not wrapping it up. And like, know this, like, understand this in the marrow of your bones, how true that is. It takes so much more of your life force energy to not do what your instincts know you're meant to do than it is to just do the thing. So I invite you into that if that's where you're at with it. And if you are at that completion state, if you can like honestly, legitimate, you feel it in like the marrow of your bone, you're like, yes, I'm here. I have come full circle and I'm so fucking proud of myself. Let it percolate. Let it be a sponge and just soak that up and allow the wisdom to reveal itself and to integrate itself into you. Okay. I'd love to hear how all this landed for you guys in the comments. Please do like the video if you find value in it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Share it with friends who you think might also benefit. Yeah, if you want to book a reading, a coaching session, a sacred container of a very sundry different projects and things that I do offer. I mean, there's readings, there's card readings, there's astrology readings, there's just energy readings, there's coaching practice containers, there's all kinds of good stuff. Reach out to me. Let's set something up. In the meantime, know how much I love you. I hope that you enjoy this Tuesday, and we'll see you all next Tuesday. Bye for now.